Hello, we are back from the bottom of the well, and we're up to this part really. I asked her who they'll put her in charge. I followed orders. I didn't want to rock the boat. I'm just gonna do that. So she barely lets you in, and then you immediately fold. Hey, I was just happy I was managed to get inside. I didn't want to risk her throwing me out. Really? You think that kind of thing was her right, or even something she could do? Hey, I didn't know how many friends she actually had in there, and I wanted to be one of them. To be fair, she probably sounds really bad, alright? But if you're on a survival scenario, then you gotta do some, you gotta do some stuff that you really don't like, even if you're friends with people that you absolutely hate. So I guess it does make sense. That's why I did that. Increases chances of survival. So she bosses you around, and you help her boss people around? I didn't say that. So I guess you just handed over all your stuff then? That wasn't what she intended to do at all. Although yeah, I probably would have. She just wanted to do to do infantry. I quietly did what she told me, even when she was being pissy. Alright, so what happened next? She assigned me a corner, so I went there and settled in. Did she leave you alone afterwards? The place had maybe 20 people in it, me included, but she stayed away from most of the rest of us, so yeah, she did. Were you the last to arrive? No, soon after us there was some others. She let in without trouble. Embarrassing one of them, this big, bruisey guy with a motorbike jacket. Someone you knew? Actually, yes, Ray was his name. He lived pretty close. I mainly knew him for his love for motorcycles. I had no idea he knew the bitch queen. But the place was empty. Yeah. Soon after, though, there was another knock, and this time the bitch queen, tried to do the same thing she did with me. What did you do? I stepped in. This was unacceptable. I protested, naturally. I kept quiet. I kept quiet. I know it's just a dream, but jeez. What was she doing? It was just not right. I know, but I was afraid. I didn't want to be thrown out. I understand, still. It boils my blood. Well, anyway, she and her friend closed the door and made sure it was kept closed. I really hope whoever was left outside actually left to find other shelter, because when the bombs started to drop, yes, the bombs were all underground, down a set of stairs leading to the actual bunker. It was filled with barrels and barrels of beer and other drinks, but at least there was light for a while. So it actually happened, the nuclear war. Yes, we had a radio with us, and we crunched around. At first there was reports that the US missile system was working, and it was shooting down the incoming warheads, but then the signal turned off, and a few moments later, we felt the rubble. Holy shit, but were you okay? The shelter did what it was designed to do. Yes, although at one point there was a terrible sound just above, and the shelter was briefly filled with dust. I was pretty sure we were all dead people. We're screaming, babies were crying, the lights flickered. I died. It was the end. Holy shit. He was subconscious, wasn't joking around. Oh. We put candles on and waited for the radio to come back. It did after a while. What did it say? Just about explained fallout patterns. It sounded very recorded, but I guess though there had been someone alive up. They're still clicking the buttons, but even that ended after a while. Wow, okay, so how long did you stay down there? Well, the radio said there were clouds of radioactive ash coming our way within 24 hours. They told everyone to stay inside until further notice, then it died. So I guess you stayed at least 24 hours then? Of course. The problem came when we tried to leave. What? Well, the shelter was underground, underneath a big trapdoor, and the house above it had apparently collapsed on the trapdoor. We tried to open it, pushed and pushed, but it wouldn't budge. Damn, that's like a real nightmare, buried alive. Well, we had food down there for a while, and if we started drinking beer with our meals, we would probably stretch it out for a week. Of course, then we had all kind of drunks all the time, too. But what then? Maybe they had been rescued? Maybe. But what if they weren't? What did the others think? Ray and his queen wanted to sit tight and wait for help. A few of the others wanted to find an alternative way out, maybe through one of the ventilation shafts. A third option would be to keep on working on the trapdoor. It opened out, but if we removed the hinges, we got it to collapse inwards, and then dug it up through. Okay. The radioactive dirt. Anyway, people were getting very anxious, so it was time to make some kind of decision. So what did you do? Right, let's have a look at these choices. This is a very interesting one. Stay putting and waiting for rescue. I don't think that's a good option. I vote for work on the trapdoor. Opening an alternative exit seems the wisest, like a ventilation shaft. What did it matter? What I wanted. I just sat back. No, I think that one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you get air from the ventilation shafts? Yes. Well, yes. So it was kind of risky to go messing with it. And we all knew that, but the trapdoor didn't feel like a good idea. And neither was staying put, so it was a shot. So what did you find out? Well, I stood on my shoulders of some of the others, and I managed to so I can't read all of this. I'm a shit reader. Do you know why I do visual novels? I just like visual novels. Don't judge. One of the shafts in the roof. I saw the flashlight, and in I saw it. It was barely big enough for one of the thin-shouldered people. Sounds like someone I know. Well, with a bit of help, they pushed me into the shaft. It was tight, very tight, but I could just barely wiggle my way upwards. This was the roughest the point. I remember I had a very serious fear of enclosed places. Alright, so the fear of enclosed places. Well, I understand. What if you got stuck? No one would be able to help you. Especially if it was somewhere further up. You know, even if it did lead to the surface, or if it was unblocked up there, risky. Yeah, I know. Definitely had some patience. So what did you do? I decided to try the trapdoor instead. I carried on with the shaft. Do you know what? We're going to carry on with the shaft. Brave. It was that or remain stuck underground. Either way, I was going to die in the dark. Still, I think most people would prefer the dignify that, or then hope for the best somewhere else. Hey, don't ask me. I did what I did in the dream because that's who I was in the dream. I don't think it was me exactly. It was more like a future, but potential me, you know? Sure, I guess. Anyway, crawl space. How did you do? It was tight. It got tighter fast. I felt myself starting to hyperventilate. I had to gouge my way forward in absolute darkness. I guess you didn't have a piece of mushroom that would make you smaller, did you? Ha. Very appropriate. No, I didn't. Anyway, somehow I managed to continue pushing myself up the sides to up the tunnel. I got so tired so fast, every muscle in my body was burning. You can't have been that far underground though. It must have just been a few dozen feet, right? Sure, but there were filters, and it was thin. I went up straight, and yeah, it was not fun. The worst part was, I didn't even have any proper tools with me. Just whatever we used to pry away the first cover. A crawl hammer, I think. What was your strategy? Slow and steady, get through as fast as possible. I just bash my way through anything that comes in my way. Okay, so how did it go? It didn't. I panicked, and when I panicked, I crashed and got tired and tired sludging through, and I even got more tired, so I managed to squeeze up to the next block, but by then I was helplessly wiggled. I couldn't do anything about it. Jesus Christ, Alice. So wait, stuck? It was a complete nightmare. I cried out for help. I cried, and I'm sure they heard me, but they couldn't do anything. I tried going forward, I couldn't. I tried going back, I couldn't. So what then? Well, I guess I should feel lucky. I wasn't completely alone. They actually did try to get me out of the enlarging the tunnel. That's what they said at least. But before then, I got to enjoy a few days in complete darkness. I was thirsty. Ugh. But did they get you out? Yes and no. They broke something when they were digging, and suddenly the whole thing fell down with me. Still in it. I broke a few ribs and a few bones, and then I think I suffocated to death. It was a relief, to be honest, after those days of torment. And first concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt uncompleted, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way I was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in a certain way. This one was, I think, it felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you can try again next night, see if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was it on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see it, I realized I had hit the right channel, and that it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some brilliant numbers station frequency on AM bands. Well, maybe you dream it next night again. Anyways, that's a good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time round. Right, so yeah, I think I got a bad ending. Because we die. Yeah, we got a bad end round. Because like we just die. Ooh, okay. Got achievement, first death. That's nice. This is what I don't get about this game, alright? It's a good game, but it's pretty much all based on a dream. Like, it's all in a dream. Should we do it again? I mean, it's a good game, but it's a long game. It can be long. Or short, it really depends. As I've noticed. Oh, I thought I turned off the music. Well, whatever. Yeah, we're just gonna stop now. But tomorrow we will play this again, and hopefully we get a decent ending where we just don't die. So yeah, like a page if you enjoyed. Subscribe today, and I'll see you guys when I video that I make. Peace.